Welcome back, everybody. My name is Legit Lee, and today I just wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be working on. And the reason why I'm doing this is because my 3D printer, the CR10, has been acting pretty bad. So I need to, basically I'm thinking about making me a new 3D printer, because I got a lot of the 20 by 40 aluminum excursions. So I did design a long time ago a way to how to make T-nuts, T-slot aluminum excursions into V-slots. So I still have the designed PLA bracket that I made for my router, so I can make the T-slots that I have only on the part that's basically like the 20 by 20s. And I tried to I downloaded and installed and tried to print out the 20 by 40 ones that I made, but my Ender 3 wasn't trying to print it out for the last 2 days. So instead of doing that, I'm designing right now in Blender. I went to, hold on, let me just show you. I went to Thingiverse, and this is the part that I want to make for it. This is the E3D V6 hot end. I got 2 of these, so I wanted to find somebody that was making an X carriage to be able to move the hot end around on the 20 by 40s, but I wasn't able to really find anybody making one, so I decided to make my own. So what I did, I went to Thingiverse, and right now this is the hot end that I got. This is for an ANET A8 that I have, and it does work good, but I'm gonna need just these 2 pieces, so that way I can put this onto the designer that I made. So I need to download this first. Give it a second so that way it can download. 1, 2, 3. Good. So now it's downloading. You can see that right here. And I have a file for all my stuff that I use for when I'm trying to 3D print stuff. So this is right here, this file. This is a STL for the V wheels, basically. So I was able to download that, and I can 3D print that, so that's good. But I'm using the information to design my own bracket in Blender. So you can see right here, these are the V wheels, and I even made, because I have the bearings for them. So I designed the bearing, because this is the thickness and the size and the hole. It's a 5mm hole for the bearings to sit in. So I used the cube to move this around, and I used the measure it information. There you can see these are the thicknesses and the width and the length of what this cube is now. So let me just hide that. So this is, I downloaded this off of Thingiverse too. This is the 20 by 40 aluminum excursion. You can see that right here, 2040 aluminum excursion. So if I just press 1 on my numpad, you can see the front view. So if we go close, you can see that it would line up pretty close, and this will work out just great for my excursions that I got. So even if you don't see the V slot right here, it will be there for these pieces. So right now all I gotta do is move these cylinders down into the cube, and then I need to boolean cut out these holes, so that way I can make sure it fits this bracket that I'm making for the X carriage is what I'm designing. So all I gotta do now is I'll zoom out really quick, and then what I'll do here, now that I downloaded those files, let me just make sure that I have the files. Here we go. I'll save this, copy this really quick, so that way I know where to put them at. So now I'll go back over here, and now it's fully downloaded. So I'll open this up, and then I got 7-zip from my extractor for zip files. So if I right click on this and then go down to 7-zip, open archive. Now you see right here it says files. Those are the files for the E3D V6. So if I hit extract and then I put paste right here, hit OK, that will extract the files that I need. So now that is done, I'm going to close out of downloads here, and now if I just open up where my files are at, you can see files again. Those are for the E3D V6. So you can see them right here, right there, right there. They're right here for me to be able to 3D print if I wanted to, but I need those files, so I need to import them from the files that I downloaded. So I go to File, Import, and then go to STL, and here they go. So this is the files. So if I go to Files, and there you go, E3D V6 STL. That is, I need to figure out which one it is that I need. First I'll click on the first one, hit import, and there you go. So now we have it in here in Blender. So if I click on it, hold on, it was there just a second ago. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this is pretty much what I would probably need, because that is the top part of it before you add the clamp to it to hold it in place. So if I bring that up, go 7 for top view, and all I gotta do is rotate it, I believe, because we're gonna be going left and right for the x-axis. So if I look here, if I'm going up and down on this, because the you don't see it right now, but if you look at it on the one, that is the edges, the ends of the extrusion. So you gotta think about it like this. If we're going, this will be up and down, so this will be the y-axis, and left and right is the x-axis. So I need to click on the E3D, go to the top view, hit R to rotate, and I'll put 90 degrees. So now it's rotated, and I already have move here clicked, so that way I can move this around on the y-axis, so that way I can see, and then I can move it down on the x or over to the right on the x. So if I zoom in a little bit and grab this hand so that I can move the camera view a little bit, you can see that it would pretty much line up nicely. I just need to boolean cut these holes out, and then boolean add this piece to the E3 to the to my new bracket for the E3D stuff. But let's just double check. I'm gonna scroll. I'm using my middle mouse button to be able to move the view like that, to pan around. Move it down just a little bit, and we're gonna have to bring this down to touch my cube that I designed. So let me just do one so we can look at the front view, and we can zoom in a little bit to see if it lines up pretty nice. It looks like it's doing okay. So let me just zoom out a little bit to bring it up just a tad. And now you gotta think, when we're attaching this to the cube, it's gonna be a little high up, and the higher it is, you're gonna have to adjust your 3D printer to be able to use the higher version of your X carriage, because of the fact your X carriage is not gonna be able to touch your build plate if it's too. Your hot end won't touch the build plate if it's too high up. So we're gonna move this down just a little bit. Let me look at the top view so that way I'm not bumping into the holes that I need to cut out. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, zoom out just a tad, and then we can move this down a little bit more. I think right about here should do good. Right there. We don't want it to be too close because these are gonna be where the holes go at, to be able to put the V wheels in. So that should do pretty good. We don't even need to worry about these pieces exactly. But let me see. I'm gonna hit tab because it's already selected. So if I go into object mode, edit mode, there it goes. Click, hit tab. Now we're in edit mode, but you can't see the vertices or anything right now. So let me just click on this, and we can use that's X-ray view. So you can see all the movements, but I don't see my vertice dots on there yet. Oh, but I think it's because I'm selected. Hold on, let me go back to object mode, and then I'll select this again. Then we'll go back to edit mode, and now you can see the little individual vertices. So what I'll do is move, zoomed in a little bit, but I got to move. Let me double hit A twice to deselect everything. And then I'll hit B to use the window to grab. So if I drag this box over all these vertices, it'll select only those vertices. And I gotta do it again, hit B again to grab these vertices. And then I can move these vertices down a little bit, just to move it out of the way so it's not touching or messing with my cube that I made for the part. Let me undo that, Control Z, that'll bring it back up. Hit B again. We want to make sure we grab all these top vertices up here. We don't want to touch these vertices because those are for the E3D V6 hot end to mount to it. So we just need to move these holes out of the way a little bit. Bring it down to right about here. Oh, let me undo that real quick because I didn't select these vertices over here. I'm sorry it's taking so long, guys. This is a lot of work to do, basically, because there's a lot to go into this. So that should grab all the vertices that I need. So let me just bring this down a little bit to about right here. That should do okay. So let me go back out a little bit, bring this down a little bit because we need to move these up a little bit. So I'm gonna deselect everything by pressing A twice, hit B again to grab these vertices. Zoom in a little bit, hit B again to grab these vertices, and hit B one more time, grab these vertices. We just want to make sure we're not touching any of the V6 mounts. We just want to grab the vertices that are next to it so we can move this up a little bit. So I don't know who designed this. It is inside of Thingiverse. Yeah, my 3D printer finally stopped printing. So now you can hear that all that noise is pretty much done now. But I think that should do it, hopefully. Now that we selected everything, now what we can do is go back to object mode. So we hit tab again. Now we're in object mode. And if I hit this right here, we can actually see everything. So now we moved just the vertices a little bit out of the way. And if I hit 3, we're in the right side view. So that looks down enough. And I really don't think it's going to cause that much of an issue. So now that we have all those moved to basically the position that we need it at, that should do it. And then all we got to do is go to this wrench over here. Well, first we got to click on this, on the cube, the original cube. So now that we have that, I'm going to rename that cube to be a different name really quick. So let me move this over so I can see. So we have it selected. This is the cube that we were designing for my new x-axis for my 3D printer that I'm making. So I'm gonna hit X carriage. I'm gonna type X care just to make sure that it's selected correctly. Enter. So now that we have that selected, all we got to do now is hit our wrench, and then we go to modifier, because the wrench is modifiers. So we go to modifier, and then we go over to Boolean. That will be able to link the hot end, the E3D V6 hot end that I just got from Thingiverse, together with the cube. So if I hit Boolean right here, see right now it's set for difference, I believe, but we need to add join or union. There it goes. So now we just hit 1 on a numpad really quick. We will select this real fast, and it looks like we're pretty much on there, so that looks pretty good for the most part. So I'll leave it just like that. I won't try to bring it up. Well, maybe just a little bit. Let me bring it down a little just to make sure it's really touching good. That should be good. So now that we have that connected, or basically gonna be connected, so now that we are back onto our cube, because we're still in edit, we're still in object mode. So I selected the X care or S carriage basically, and it was set for union. So all we gotta do is hit this eyedropper tool and click on the E3D, and then we hit apply. So now those two parts are linked together. So I don't think we would have to really worry about this piece anymore. So if I lift it up, it may lift up both the E3D and my cube. So let's double check. Nope. Okay, so move that out of the way, so that's good. So now if I just click on the S carriage, everything is selected. You can see everything has been joined or unioned together. So that right there is a good sign. So now I can just click on this and hit the eyedropper, the eye tool here, or eye, to hide it, because we don't really need that anymore. So now we have both parts linked together, so that's great. So now all I gotta do is select these cylinders that I made. Those are all 5mm thick, or solid holes basically is what they're gonna be. So I have to select all of them. I made them all red because I know I'm gonna cut them. So, or not cut them, I'm gonna use them to cut out the holes for my cube. So I hit shift select shift, and I just left click on these, and they're all selected. Now if I right click and hit join, they're all one cube now, or one cylinder basically. They're all together. So now if I hit 1 on my numpad, I can move all these down into the slots that are gonna be what need to cut out the holes for the for my V wheels that I need to place in the part. So that should be pretty close, and it looks deep enough. I only made, I think this is only like maybe 2 millimeters. I don't really know how thick this part is, but I can double check really quick. So if I click on it like it's selected, I hit tab to get back into edit mode. So if I only hit that vertice and this vertice right here, hit shift to select both of the vertices, and then I hit segment. That will make where we can see it. If I hit show again, you can see, well, all those, but I'm gonna delete a lot of those out of the way so that we can't see all of them. So close that, close that. So if I hit hide again, show, I just want to make sure that I'm looking at what this is. So let me go down a little bit if I can. It's not letting me go down anymore. So let me hit hide again. I think all those other things were selected because of these parts are select, where I had to use the measure it tool to figure out how thick or how fat I needed to make the all these pieces. These are the bearings basically. So let me go back to object mode by hitting tab, and then I click on this, go down, and you see there goes another one. Hit X to close that out, hit X to close that one out, and I got that one and that one. I closed out all those. I may have another few that need to be deleted because I just copied what I already had made. I copied them over and moved them around after I got done designing how fat and how thick these are supposed to be. So I hit X to delete those, and then I need to do it again for this one. Go down, hit X. So all those are deleted finally. So now if we click on this one, I don't see it because I think I may have deleted that one too, so I'm gonna have to redo that measurement. So I'll zoom in a little bit, drag this down a little bit, and then I hit tab to get back into edit mode, and I'll just A to deselect everything, and then I hit shift click, left click, and then I hit segment, show. So it's looking like it's saying 10 millimeters, which is okay with me. I don't mind if it is. I just want to make sure that it's, oh wait, no, that may be these cylinders are 10 millimeters. But if you look closer right here, you can see that that's 2 millimeters right here. It's hard to really see it.